Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Free Home Buying Guide. Again, I'm Nia, your Chief Learning Officer, and today I came here to stick up for budgets everywhere. Yes, I said that with my chest because I know we don't like budgeting. Hopefully, by the end of this video, you have a different perspective of budgeting, and I can help you embrace budgeting just a little bit more. Don't we want to embrace it just a little bit more? Just a little bit. Okay, so as you can tell, I love budgets, but I'm a personal finance educator. I fell in love with budgets when I took my pay cut and I had to literally change the way I think and use money in my life. This is the not the last video. It depends on which order you watch them. But this is part of the Free Home Buying Guide. The Free Home Buying Guide is a free resource that I offer. You can find it in the description below that talks about my 5 important steps everyone should take when purchasing a home in addition to approving their credit. So you want to work, so you build a team, work on your real estate dream team. You want to do your research so you can learn about loan products and what you're signing and how this process works. I want you to eliminate debt in the best way possible to make your profile look good to a lender. I want you to create a budget, which is what we're going to talk about today, where you basically make sure you can afford the home that you're moving into. I want you to get your dream home, but I want you to be able to afford your dream home. If that does that make sense? I hope it does. I hope it makes sense. And then lastly, I want you to build an emergency fund so that you can afford repairs and replacements and be comfortable in your home mentally and physically. Okay, so we're going to jump right into it. After that, you need a budget. When you are looking to purchase a home, you want to first look at what you're currently paying. What is your current rent or whatever monthly expenses you currently have, and all of your monthly expenses, because even though you're going to apply for a loan with the lender, they're going to give you a pre-approval amount based on the information that they have. But you and I know they don't have all the information, because if you're a parent, if you're in any type of sororities or activities or things like that, you know that you have additional expenses that might not be being reported to your credit. So those are the type of things that you want to include when you do your own budget, so that you can identify exactly what you're comfortable with paying monthly for your mortgage. You want to know this number. You want to know this number by heart, because you're going to have a discussion with your lender about this number. So I've discussed in several videos, I'm trying to help you get an understanding of how the home buying process goes. One of your first steps is pre-approval. So when you go through pre-approval, they're going to give you a whole list of basically documents that you need to submit. So you're going to submit all of these documents, and I go through each document in the book. The book tells you exactly what are all the documents that possibly you might need, whether you're employed or if you're self-employed. And then the book talks about just questions that you want to ask the lender. But the most important thing of all is the lender is going to then give you a pre-approval letter. This letter is going to include how much money you can get approved for, and this letter is going to include the interest rate that you possibly could get. This is not an obligation for you to take the loan with them, and this is no obligation that they're going to extend the loan with you. All the pre-approval letter is saying that based on their credit profile and their financials that we reviewed, we will be willing to give them a loan. We would definitely be able to give them a loan. That's what you need to let a seller know. I'm not just blowing air. I really want to purchase this property from you, and I really have the ability to purchase this property for you. So that's one of the things that you want to make sure that you have, is that pre-approval letter. So you want to make sure you sit down, list all of your bills, not some, but all of your bills. List all of your bills that you have that you're paying. If you don't remember which bills it is, you want to look at your credit card statements, look at your bank statements, find out what all of those expenses are and look at them. Maybe some of them you might actually have an eye-opening moment and realize you're paying for subscriptions that you haven't used, and you're paying for other things that you just don't use anymore and don't really fit your lifestyle anymore. See, a lot of people don't like to budget, and they get mad at it because they consider it to be a chore, or they consider it to be work, and it just they loathe doing it. So it makes them not enthusiastic about doing it, which nobody's saying that you have to throw a party to do a budget. But instead of thinking of it as a chore or thinking of something, oh, I have to do, think of it as an investment into yourself, and think of it as a tool to help you reach your financial goals. See, the lender, the attorney, the real estate agent, their job is to help you get in the home. What my job is that I've made for myself is to help you stay in the home. I want you to stay in the home comfortably and leave on your own terms. I want you to purchase a home making a financially educated decision so you can possibly leverage that home if you need to. Because realistically, if you're looking from a financial standpoint, you're going to purchase a home and then if you only have that one income, now you're a slave to that income to pay for that. So some people might consider purchasing a multi-unit first or purchasing a duplex first so they can live in one unit and rent out the other. So that way you have made an investment and that way you have some money coming in addition to your money going out. If that's something you're interested in or looking for, it's called house hacking, and you can find a lot of information about it. Again, I talk about it briefly in my book, and I compare condo or home or single family or multi-unit. I compare all of those in the book because a lot of times we just don't know what's best for us because we don't know what our options are. So the more options you're aware of, the better you have a chance of making a good decision. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, when you're thinking about purchasing a home, again, you want to take the list of all of the things that you're paying, all of the expenses that you're currently responsible for. Then you want to list the income that's coming in. Now, I highly recommend if you have side income to not include side income, because are you saying that you're going to keep that side income for the life of the loan? Which a typical loan is about 30 years. You can sign up for a 15-year loan. And a lot of people ask 15-year, 30-year, what's the best that I should do? I highly recommend a 30-year. If you would like to pay it off sooner, sign up for the 30 years so you have the lower obligation, but you're more than welcome to create a debt repayment plan that pays off your loan in 15 years. So just because you sign up for a 30-year loan does not mean you have to pay it off in 30 years. You're welcome to pay it off earlier. You want to make sure that they don't have a prepayment penalty, and a lot of loans don't at this moment. So it's, as you can see, it's a lot of different terms. You have a lot of different options. It's a lot of things coming at your head at the same time. So that's one of the reasons why I created this series and I wrote the book, so that you can be able to understand. And honestly, this is one of the reasons why I created the Money Mastery Academy. You only know what you know. So if I bring in financial experts every single month to the Money Mastery Academy. And for the month of January 2022, we did home buying. So I brought in an attorney and members were able to ask the attorney questions and get that information. I brought in a mortgage broker with over 20 years of experience, again, to answer questions and provide answers to all of those complicated questions about what if I have a bankruptcy? What if I have collections? What if I have medical debt? Like, how do I handle all of those things while I'm navigating the home buying process? Those questions that we all want to know. What do I need to do to fix my credit so that I can get pre-approved? I created this membership to have people come in and answer the questions. It is on demand because I realize individuals are busy. So you're able to watch videos at different times. If you need to watch it at 3:00 in the morning, you get complete access to my full video library for this reason. Because as you can see, it's a lot of different terms, information, and options that you have as a consumer and as a buyer. So I just want to make sure you have the best knowledge that you can while entering this process. So the next part of it, if you got your budget, you realize, okay, this is how much I have coming in, this is how much I have going out. So now your question is, okay, say you have money left over. Okay, that's a good thing. But now you have an idea of how much you pay every month. So the reason why this is very important, because you now see how much you can afford to pay in mortgage every month. So you're going to have a little sit down and conversation with your lender, and you're going to tell them, okay, I looked at my budget and I can afford to pay, I don't know, we're going to say $1,500 a month. So if you let them know that's what you can afford, they know what your interest rate is that you have the option for. So they can adjust your pre-approval letter to put it to that amount of home that will meet you being able to have the monthly mortgage payment that you said you can afford to pay. Because remember, they are people, everybody's working for you. This is a part of your team. You are the captain of this team. So they're going to be able to tell you, okay, this is how much home you can afford. So you can take that and you can go and shop for homes. The second part of budgeting is I don't recommend, if your lender tells you, oh, well, you can qualify for a $400,000 home, don't go looking for a $399,000 home, because you're not giving yourself any wiggle room. You're looking at the top, and it's just kind of going to set you up for disappointment, possibly in the long run. You want to give yourself some wiggle room because you're going to have different things you have to pay for. Remember, this is a house, so you can't call the landlord to get anything fixed. You are the landlord. You have to fix it. Then you might have to pay a consultation fee for them coming out to look at whatever the problem is. So these are the type of things that you want to keep in your head and keep in your mind, so that you can make the best educated decision. So we're going to go over budgeting just one more time. And again, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask your questions. If you would like different types of examples, please let me know. I will be happy to help, because I want people to just get a better idea. Having a budget does not mean that you have to cut out all of the things that you want to do. It just means you include them in your budget so you know how much money you have that you're really working with. Because usually we get paid, and when we get paid, we go spend money, and we really don't know how much money we have the ability to spend because we just go spending crazy. So that's something that you want to make sure that you work on and get together. So, like I said last time, so when you want to do your budget, you want to take all of your bills and expenses and you want to write all of them down. This is going to look like your rent, light, gas, internet, cable bill, streaming services, gym subscription. If you like to get your nails and hair done, that's going to be on your budget also. You like to travel, you got a trip in December, that trip should be split up in pieces so that you can pay part of it every month, and you're not putting that strain on yourself to try to do it at the last minute and then try to decide what's going to get paid. You start paying for it ahead of time before the money is due. You basically, if you got to pay it off in 6 months, you divide it by 6 months and pay that certain part each month. So you list all of those things, you put all of those things in there. Then you take your income. Do you have child support? Do you have a W-2 income? Do you have self-employed income? If you have a business and you give yourself an income from your business, you're going to add all of those things up. So then you're going to subtract the expenses from the income. And that's how you budget. After you do that, you'll either have money left over or you realize you have a negative amount. If you have a negative amount, that means that you are paying for things that you really can't afford. You are spending money that you really do not have to spend. A lot of times we make extra payments on our credit cards every month to make ourselves feel good. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If you really didn't have that money to put that extra on that credit card and you didn't create a budget to figure out how much money you have, you're really possibly putting yourself in a situation that's going to cause you to spend on that card eventually anyway. So with that being said, I hope that you learned a little bit more about the home buying process today. Of course, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next video. Bye.